This is Sam with the Nashville Home Guys, and I think it's really important to kind of give a market update right now. We've seen a lot of headlines. I'm getting a lot of questions, having a lot of great conversations with clients, friends, people I'm working with currently about what's going on with the housing market. We've read all sorts of housing headlines like home prices in June cooled at a record pace. What's next for the U.S. housing market? Pending sales are down, closed sales are down, and it's making a lot of people nervous. But I think some of that information is correct. Some of it is a little misleading and misinterpreted. So I wanted to look at some of our local numbers and just break it down a little bit for you. All right. So for data purposes, we are looking at Williamson and Davidson County. We're looking at single family homes, no condos, no townhomes, all bedroom count, all bath count. Really want to kind of create a wide brush stroke so you can see what's going on per county at large. So the first thing I want to address is cooling home prices. And a lot of people are confusing price drops on active listings with what homes are actually closing out for, what they're actually sold for. We are seeing a record number of homes, and record being in the past 2 years, actually drop price right now. And that is because the market is changing and buyer expectation and market expectations are changing. So in the past year, even earlier this year, we could really price a house pretty aggressively. Interest rates were very low and people would probably still purchase your house. Now that we are seeing higher interest rates, the pricing expectation really has to be, or really the pricing has to be within comps and has to be supported by the condition and the location of the house. And so if your house is listed higher than what the market will bear, we will see a price decrease. And right now there's going to be a shift in seller expectations. And then also a lot of realtors' expectations have to change as well. And that is what we're starting to see. So aggressively priced homes are starting to drop more rapidly. And then houses that are priced really well, we're seeing still fly off the market and sometimes even over list. And that's why pricing your home is so extremely important when you're going to list your house. And so on that note, we are seeing a lot of prices decreasing on active listings. So homes that are still in market, not currently sold. But if we look at the data here and we look at what prices have actually sold for, in Williamson County over last year, prices still closed out 30% above what they did in July of 2021, and in Davidson County, almost 20% above. If we break it down monthly, and I scroll along this graph here, in Williamson County in June, the average price of a sold home was $1,021,000. Last month in July, it was $1,039,000, and in Davidson County, $598,000. and $604. So you can see that prices are still increasing when we're talking about sold homes. We are not seeing a dip in pricing yet. And if you look at the overall trajectory since 2019, that's what home prices have been doing steadily. So why is that happening? Good question. We are still seeing a real big shortage of houses nationally and especially in our market. We do live in a hot market. We have a lot of relocation. We have a bustling economy, major headquarters moving to Nashville. We have a lot of demand for housing, but we cannot keep up with that demand with the supply that we have. So you know that when we have a lot of demand and little supply, price tends to increase, and that's where we are now. Builders can't keep up, and the road looks pretty long for catching up in inventory in Nashville. So on that note, let's look at a couple of statistics for the amount of homes on a market. So first thing, this is a snapshot of new listings that hit the market in July. Williamson County over last year was down 10%, and then Davidson County was also down 10%. Again, if we break it down by month, June, both in Williamson and Davidson County, 6,600 new listings hit the market in June, a little over 14,000 in Davidson County. And you can see there was a slight decrease. So 64.98 in July for Williamson, and then pretty much 14,000 flat in Davidson. So a slight decline. So we are still seeing inventory decline. We saw a little increase in inventory between May and June, but it seemed to have decreased a little bit in July. One metric that I really like looking at when we're talking about supply of homes is the month supply. So this takes the average monthly pending sales over the course of a year and divides it by the amount of inventory on the market, and you get month supply of inventory. So at the average demand over the past year, what would it take to absorb, or how long would it take to absorb all the inventory in a market? If it's around 5 to 6 months, typically that's a pretty balanced market. Anything under that is a seller's market, and above that is a buyer's market. Nashville's been operating really below 3 for quite some time. If we're looking right now in July, Williamson County had a 2-month supply of houses on the market, which is down almost 46% over 2021. Davidson County, 2.1 month supply, which is down almost 40% over 2021. And again, if we look at our graph here, you can see that it has just been on a downward trend. And in fact, in June, we had a 2.1 in Williamson, 2.2. So again, it both decreased a little bit. And even if we go all the way back to, let's see when the last time we saw 4-month. 4-month was May of 2021 in Williamson County. It was still under that in Davidson. But we have been on a steady decline since June of 2020, especially in Williamson County. Davidson was flat for a while and then it started decreasing. So we have a very low supply of houses. So naturally, what does that mean? Another headline is we are seeing a decrease in pending sales. So let's look at pending sales. So these are homes that are under contract that haven't closed yet. Well, naturally, they are down. So 8% in Williamson County over last year, only 2% down of Davidson County over last year. And again, if we break down monthly, in June, 6,194 pending sales. In Williamson, it decreased to 5,908. And then in Davidson County, 12,863, and it went down to 12,575. So a slight decrease in pending sales. And again, a lot of that is inventory driven. So let's go to closed sales. Closed sales, so these are homes that actually closed, sold in July, was down almost 14% over last year in Williamson and 8% in Davidson County. And that is a pretty big decrease, obviously, but again, a lot of that is inventory driven, probably a little bit of buyer attrition, but mainly inventory. There just haven't been enough houses to sell. So in June, again, Williamson County, 5,486 homes that were closed. This month it was 5,275. And in Davidson, 11,885, dropped down to 11,953. So, are closed home prices dropping? No. Are we seeing more active listings drop price? Yes, and that is due to seller expectations still needing to adjust, and then also interest rate. Obviously, your money is going afford you less right now when the interest rate is at 5.5%. So your house really has to back up the price, and comps have to back it up as well. And again, that is why pricing is important. Oh, have we seen less pending and closed sales? Yes, there's less inventory on the market, so therefore we're seeing less sales close. And a huge driving factor behind all of this, or two huge factors, is low inventory and a lot of demand. So, is it a good time to sell? Absolutely. Prices still going up. Is it a good time to buy? This is something that everybody asks me, and I still think it is. Our inventory crisis is not going to be solved anytime soon. I do think we're still going to see a steady increase in prices, a good appreciation rate, and that is the expectation by many economists. Now, should we expect a 20-30% year over year over the next, 2, 3, 4 years? Probably not. For those of us that have owned over the past 2 years, we've really seen a 10-year equity gain in the course of 2 years. We've been pretty fortunate. Will that normalize a little bit? Most people are predicting yes. So probably somewhere in that 5% appreciation rate, 8%. Nashville, especially in areas, it could be a lot hotter because, again, a lot of industry, a lot of economy, a lot of companies coming here, which is a great thing. So it is a still good time to get in the market. 5.5%. We've been spoiled with interest rates. So yes, it is higher. But it is still historically low, and if they drop again, you can always refinance. But the right time to buy is up to you, your budget, and what you are comfortable with. So if you have the savings and you can put down what you need to put down and meet your monthly threshold, then yes, it's a good time to buy. If it's a stretch and you're just really uncomfortable with your finances, with what it's looking like now, then maybe wait for a little bit and save some of your money. So I'm here for questions. I would love to discuss any of this with you. You can just drop us a comment, shoot me a direct message, and I'd love to talk to you more about this. And if you enjoyed this video, please also let me know. Thanks. Talk to you soon.